Tim Pool has this rapper, R.A. the Rugged Man. And I have to concede I'm not familiar with this person's music.
A quick Wikipedia search shows that he's worked with Biggie and the Wu-Tang Clan. So
all right, there you go.
Wow, got to be pretty
accomplished.
Yep.
Now Tim Pool took this down from YouTube, I think. And so no, maybe it was a mistake, and so we should put it back up. In this regard, here's this clip, and I think this is where it starts. We're not 100% sure. Tim Pool has been a little bit playing this close to the vest
by taking it down. And
we should also say that this is just a moment, and there's not a lot to be necessarily garnered from this except for entertainment and watching Tim Pool be afraid that he's going to get beat up in his own studio. That I enjoy. Here is a conversation between Tim Pool and R.A. the Rugged Man is basically saying, dude, you claim that you're trying to make an argument that you're not racist, and you put out some material. And this dynamic, I think, is one that we have noticed on the show with a lot of different people. The gist of your material is this way, but you want to cover your flank, so you put out a little material that way. And look.
Cover your ass material.
Yeah, I mean, and I could see how people might say, like, they look at this show and they go, like, you don't focus on this. You do a couple of videos about that, but you don't focus on it in the way that I think you should.
Right.
And we get that at times, but this is
my favorite kind of critique.
But what, people have an opinion about your shows, whatever. People can have an opinion, but this is different because we're not talking about two different topics. I would never criticize Tim Pool for, like, you don't focus enough on the question of racism. No, the point is when he talks about race, he focuses plenty on it. It's just that the emphasis is on one particular dynamic.
That anti-racism is going way too far.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so here's the first of their two exchanges. And I believe we should just, with a caveat, because again, this has all been deleted and people just got, clips. I believe this is the first part of the sequences of these clips.
To me? Now you start raising your voice to me like I'm some sucker. Did you laugh at me? Yeah, laugh.
Did you disrespect me? I was nice to you, bro. I was being nice.
You start raising your voice to me like I'm your son, bitch.
You raised your voice to me? Bro, I said I respected you.
You wouldn't shut the
I
fuck up
appreciated
with that
you.
raising your voice shit.
I stopped when you told me to. You said lower your voice, so I lowered my voice. I told you I respected you coming. It was a good show. I said I respected you, willing to admit when you got things wrong. Bro, I have put so much of my life into this. Look at this.
I watch your videos.
I
already watched your video. No, I see your videos.
You don't.
No, I see your video. Yeah, you're gonna say, look, this is the non-racist thing. But meanwhile, you have videos promoting Derek Chauvin and acting like he was in the right. You have videos of that. You have videos of the other guy. You have videos of the other. You have videos of the other guy.
Two guys.
Armory. And you go,
guys.
oh, but they grabbed the pistol, defending them, killing a black man in the streets, and he ran for them and giving excuses. You have these videos, so all of this shit doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, of course not.
A decade of work doesn't matter.
No, because because lives were lost by police, and you were there bootlicking the fucking cops.
I think we should abolish the police.
Okay, now. Okay, so just to parse out what's going on here, I think it's obvious, but maybe for people, R.A. the Rugged Man is basically saying, your body of work leans in terms of the question of race.
The idea that Tim has done 10 years of anti-racism work, or even not racist work, is ridiculous. This is he'll occasionally do the thing where, again,
he's just scared. He's being confronted, and the guy's not backing down. R.A. the Rugged Man's not backing down, and Tim Pool has don't worry though, he's a very tough guy. He has a samurai sword hanging behind him, crossed with a pistol because he's super tough. But then his voice starts shaking when he's called affirmatively or with authority on his bullshit.
And he's pointing to what I think is a screen that we're going to see in this next clip, which is of a documentary that he financed and actually quoted James Baldwin in.
Jesus.
And this is what I think he was pointing to off camera. Now, I love R.A. the Rugged Man's response when Tim says, I believe in abolishing the police. But Bradley, do me a favor. Go onto your computer and put this up. I want you to Google Tim Pool abolish the police. Because I think it is the case that Tim Pool has called for the abolition of the... Okay, here it is. Good. Check this out.
Bring back local militias.
Yeah.
Abolish the police. Bring back. Now, the problem with policing is that I think for a lot of people, I think there's a couple issues. There's a sense that like our carceral state is problematic, broadly speaking, that you don't want that police abuse their authority, that they target people who are marginal, have marginal political power in our society, and people who have a lower income. What do you think these militias are going to do? Who's going to form these militias? Wealthy people to protect their property and their interests. What is the history of these militias in this country? They are formed. Sometimes they've been called lynching mobs.
Yeah.
So the idea that he is for abolishing the police in the way that people who want to abolish the police is, I think, at best disingenuous.
Well, because there's a second tweet here where he also says the term abolish the police. But it is only in reference to, you guessed it, the January 6th insurrectionist attempt. He says, abolish the police, quote tweeting a tweet that says, breaking the D.C. Department of Corrections locked out multiple members of Congress from reviewing the conditions of the January 6th prisoners. I mean, what are they hiding?
He's literally said before that he takes positions that are even contradictory publicly, so people don't know what he actually believes. And I can't find a date on this, Bradley. Maybe you can help me. But the episode is called "Democrats' Call to Abolish the Police is Massively Unpopular and Freaking People Out." Following widespread protests, progressive Democrats seized upon the fervor and called for disbanding, defunding, or even outright abolishing the police. Somehow Democrats managed to turn an advantage into a disadvantage that Republicans have immediately used in their favor. While most people do believe in some kind of police reform, almost no one wants to see the police to be totally abolished, I guess, except Tim. But this is his own podcast.
Right, and the thing is that when he's, as you say, he's covering his ass on this because he wants to be able to take both positions or like fend off criticism by someone like R.A. the Rugged Man, like, oh, I want to abolish the police, I want to create militias, and I mean, I'm sure the militias only are able to look a certain way.
10 years, Emma.
Yeah.
10 years of work. But what is good about what R.A. the Rugged Man's doing there is he's explicitly calling him out on those critiques directed at acts of racism by police, which you are not going to hear from Tim Pool on. In fact, here is Tim Pool now pointing to the culmination of his 10 years of anti-racism work. Yeah.
And
R.A. the Rugged Man does not appreciate the way that Tim is coming at him. And we should say, later in the show, R.A. the Rugged Man apologizes, says, I do have a temper that I know I should be a little bit more restrained, and he apologizes for this moment. But with that said, I do appreciate watching Tim Pool basically pee his pants.
Yeah, and let me just read one more Tim Pool title from 2020. Democrats have just bent the knee to a fringe leftist ideology as progressives vow to abolish police. So his support for abolish the police is kind of interesting.
Well, it's interesting because he's saying Democrats have just bent their knee to me and finally have come around to my position, I guess.
On militias replacing cops?
I guess. Here is that exchange that where R.A. the Rugged Man has had enough of Tim Pool.
You're a racist prick. Here's my hour-long documentary about the black struggle in Ferguson.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh, great. $100,000 budget. Yeah. James Baldwin interviews with people on the ground to talk about what they've been through. And you have the nerve to come up to me and tell me my experiences don't matter when I'm fighting the fight.
Stop screaming, bitch. Stop screaming, first of all. Talk to me like because I'm not that guy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
You
not
are.
that
You
guy.
actually are, dude. Yeah. You are that guy.
I'm not that guy to fucking scream at, bitch. You want to get fucked up? Huh?
All right.
What the fuck you screaming at, bitch?
Let's calm down.
Man.
You think you can...
I'm not that guy. You don't disrespect me, bitch.
What did you do to me? Did you disrespect me?
Nah, you start raising your voice to me like I'm some sucker.
Did you laugh at me?
Bitch. Yeah, laugh.
Did you disrespect me? I was nice to you, bro. I was being nice.
You start raising your voice to me like I'm your son, bitch?
You raised your voice to me?
That.
Bro, I said
raised my voice
I
to
respected
nobody.
you.
You wouldn't shut the
I
fuck up with
appreciated
that
you.
raising your voice shit.
I stopped when you told me to. You said lower your voice, so I lowered my voice. I told you I respected you coming. It was a good show. I said
going to that, and then she said I had like
he's apologizing.
Some kind of disorder, where it's you get explosive disorder. What the fuck? Intermittent explosive disorder or some shit like that. So what happens is you go extra, and then afterwards you feel real bad and sad about it, and you feel you fucked up, and you're kind of like fuck, like you're supposed to keep your cool. So I want to apologize about my outburst because that was a little crazy. And
I outbursted too, man.
Yeah. Now you have to sing the Peace Harmony song together in a collaboration.
And the thing that sucks is that that's the clip they take, and look, this fucking, so it is what it. But you know what? I don't give a fuck anyway. What are you gonna do? Ruin my life? I don't care. Put a clip of me going crazy. My kids, they know Daddy's a fucking weirdo, and so when I'm dead and they go on the internet and see me doing weird shit, he's still a great dad. Yeah. So as long as you're a great dad, so if they got a couple little snippets of me acting up, it is what it is,
I think I appreciate you coming.
I think
so.
We made it out alive. We had a good conversation.
I think if the kids are going to be proud of Dad for intimidating Tim Pool.
No, I think that was righteous. I think anybody would get frustrated when being lied to by a guy who has a history of
James Baldwin. I put a James Baldwin quote.
Yeah, did he say James Baldwin interviewed them? I couldn't tell. I mean,
no, he meant that they put a James Baldwin quote
at the beginning,
front of the thing.
Well, that's fine, right?
But I mean, there's a Daily Beast article. It's called like how. I'll get the title.
You know what Tim does, and he did this when I went on his show some time back. He has multiple channels, and one channel that he has, and I don't know how he does this now, but at the time, one channel is where he builds his audience. The other channel is where he puts stuff that he knows he needs to have to cover himself, but he doesn't want his audience to necessarily see because it undercuts what he's trying to project to his main money-making channel. So he makes that documentary, but I guarantee you it was not on his main channel. I don't know this for a fact, but I would bet that it was on his like sort of secondary channel. When I went on his show, back when he had the internet and could actually do remote shows, people have clipped it. People can see that, I don't know, somewhere. He put that on his like alt channel because I think he was a little bit embarrassed with the way that it went.
Right. Is that where this was as well?
Oh, this, I bet no. I don't know if they've put it out yet, but
where it was initially, I guess.
There's this article on it has a long title and it's a really long article and I can't scroll on my phone all the way up, but it's a Daily Beast article. If you search Tim Pool fraud, it's like how journalist Tim Pool is a big coward. But there's a section from that Ferguson documentary. Given the heightened tensions in the area and the expanded national conversation about race, many locals were apprehensive when approached by reporters. If you didn't strike the right tone, you could easily be dismissed, and that's what was happening over and over again with Pool, a second staffer President Ferguson said. From their perspective, Pool was unable to overcome this obstacle because he was focused on promoting himself. It also seemed as if, quote, any person of color Pool interacted with just really had no time for him. The second staffer also remarked that Pool spent an inordinate amount of time while on the ground checking his Twitter feed and, for reasons they couldn't ascertain, touching base with a popular YouTuber named Casey Neistat, who is in town to provide his own coverage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Pool.
That's his
abolish the police activist.
That lets you do about 4 months material on Jussie Smollett. That balances out for being an anti-racist.
I wonder if his 10 years of anti-racism work qualifies him for being a political ID type of thing or something like that.
But just to underline, RA, you have the right bead on Tim Pool and don't feel bad for your outburst.